Hey guys, welcome to the yearly collection tour where I give you an update on all the cool stuff that's in my collection and an exclusive tour around the rest of my house where you're going to be able to see some cool screen use props, some awesome artwork, and just a bunch of other cool stuff out there, so you don't want to miss that. But before we get started, I want to take a minute to thank you all for your continued support, not only just here on YouTube, but across all my platforms. Here on YouTube, we've almost doubled our subscriber count. We started at 20,000, now we're at over 40,000 subscribers. On TikTok, we finally hit that milestone of 500,000 followers. So thank you. But I think the breakout platform has been Instagram, where we started at 20,000 followers at the beginning of the year, and now we're at over 120,000, which is just mind-blowing to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It's all because of you guys and your support for my content. Now, I also want to thank all of my partners and sponsors and collaborators from this year for allowing me to create some awesome content for you guys and giving us some exclusive first looks at some awesome props and products. So thank you for that. Now, this year I got to meet so many of you in person at conventions and at cool Star Wars events and even just online. So I love this Star Wars community and I'm so thankful to be a part of it. Now, I also want to thank all our guests and our viewers over at Collection Wars, which is our weekly collectibles podcast. Now, there's so many things in the works for 2024. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of those videos. So without further ado, let's go take a tour. All right, so here it is. And for any of you that have been following me for a few years, you're going to notice that there has been some major changes in the room. For example, this wall right here, which I turned into a studio scale wall, and this back wall, which I rarely show in videos. First, because I didn't really like the way it was displayed. Number two, it's just awkward to film on that side. But let's start with the helmet display because there's a ton of changes there. First, you see up here my Stormtrooper evolution. First is the Novo's First Order, the Master Replicas Stormtrooper Limited Edition, the Master Replicas Phase 2, and the EFX Collectibles Phase 1. Now, this is new. This is the EFX Collectibles Legend Edition Biker Scout helmet, and it's really cool because it comes with one of the blasters and a signature plaque, and this thing is just beautiful. I love the way this is set up, and yeah, it's finally at home, finally here. Here's another new one. This is the Shadow Trooper. This was an exclusive, and I actually got this from an auction from the late Brian Ono, who was the founder of EFX Collectibles. His estate had an auction with a lot of his personal items, so this one I hold near and dear to my heart because it comes from his personal collection. Now, here is the Legend Edition EFX Collectibles Darth Vader helmet. Probably one of my favorite things in my collection, and this thing is just beautiful. It's pulled from the Rick Baker molds, and it is just super accurate, and I just love this thing. Now, next to here, I brought down the Imperial Guard helmet, just so it's kind of next to Vader. I think it just looks a little more impressive when it's right next to him, and it just calls a lot of attention to it because it's the only bright red helmet in the display stand. Now, next up down here is the Anovo's AT-AT driver helmet. And this thing, again, it's one of the best things that Anovo's put out. I love this thing. And right next to it is a fan-made Death Star gunner helmet. Very cool to have it kind of together with Vader. Right next to that is the Anovo's TIE Fighter helmet, and this is the Lieutenant Oxixo variant. And then I have the chest plate there, and then that's a fan-made chest plate. Chest box, not chest plate, chest box. And then right next to it is the Anovo Snowtrooper helmet. So I just figured I would kind of change the layout of the helmets just so it's just kind of, I'm at a point where I have to curate my collection a little bit more. And down here is the Rogue One Tank Trooper, Shore Trooper helmet. And that's the the new Novo. Then here is the Novo's Death Trooper helmet, also from Rogue One. So all the bottom helmets are now Rogue One. And then right next to that is also a Novo's Tank Trooper helmet. And love this thing. And, oh, sorry, I stand corrected. The very last one on the edge is a fan-made Mud Trooper helmet from Solo. And this thing just looks so awesome. That artist just did such an amazing job, and just came out so great. Now, next to that is my Master Replicas Boba Fett blaster, and this has been in my collection for a little while. And right below is the Elusive Concepts Han Solo in Carbonite. Now, for a lot of years, I had my custom-made one that I built myself, but eventually I found the Elusive Concepts, and this one's actually directly casted from the screen-used one, so to me, it's an upgrade. Down below is the EFX Collectibles Pyro Helmet from The Force Awakens, and there's my R2-D2 that I built myself, and yeah, it's all kind of, mixed parts: aluminum, wood, styrene, resin. Right behind here, I created a kind of bounty hunter Mandalorian display now. So right off the bat, you see Jango Fett there, and that's the New Novo Jango Fett. Now this is a custom-made, fan-made Bausch helmet, and this thing is just beautiful. Painted with original flow quills, and a lot of the parts were just kind of measured, I forgot what it's called, 3D geometric, whatever, scan, but it's pretty close to the original. This is the Master Replicas Boba Fett helmet, limited edition, right there. Next to that is the EFX Collectibles Mandalorian helmet, and below this is the EFX Collectibles Armor helmet. There are videos in my channel that you could see if you wanted to see a little more information about each one. Right below is my Disney Camp Tono, which is filled with a bunch of Imperial credits and stuff from the parks. Now here is the Master Replicas AT-AT Signature Edition. That has Phil Tippett's autograph. It's definitely one of the crown jewels in my collection. I love that. And right above it is the Master Replicas limited edition studio scale Millennium Falcon. And what is new about this is that I got Harrison Ford's autograph on a plaque finally. So got to put that in there. So it was nice to have his autograph finally on something. The base, the snow base, is also custom. My friend Manny made that for me, and just love this piece. Now, as we move to the side, we have the Icons Collectibles TIE Fighter. And one of the cool things that I found out about this during Comic-Con this year at San Diego is that the base is actually casted from screen-used Death Star tiles. And I didn't know that, but I met a gentleman that worked on these while he worked at Icons, and he confirmed. Now, this is a fan-made ball speeder made by our friend Jens over at Legacy Arts. Very cool speeder. Now, here is the snow speeder made by Master Replicas. And this thing is awesome. It's just awkward to display just because of the way it sits. Now, here, I finally got this thing kind of off the floor. This is the Sideshow Collectibles Premium Format Biker Scout and Speeder Bike. And this thing is just massive, which is also kind of awkward to display because of the way, first because of the size, but also the way, you have to display it. Now here is the map, the star map from Ahsoka. We actually made this. I 3D printed it here. My wife did, and I painted it. And yeah, here is my T16 model. And this was made from using castings of all original model parts. This was made by, well, the parts were offered by the talented Jason Eaton, and I put it together and painted it and just put it all up. Now that is an Imperial emblem from Andor. And here is the Sideshow Collectibles premium format probe droid. This is also new, and there's a full video on my channel if you want to go take a look at more details. But this thing's massive, and it just looks so cool. The probe droid's one of my favorite droids in Star Wars. Now up here I have a few fan-made models that, you know, like the probe droid escape pod or pods, which are really cool. Now this side of the wall, which is fresh to my collection, like I said, I just barely set this up, and we'll start on this corner with the Regal Robot Signature Edition chess pieces, the hollow chess pieces. They only made 77 of these, and I'm one of the fortunate ones to own it. And underneath is the Body Slam set, which Regal Robot offered it separately, as you can see there. And I just thought it would look really cool together with the whole chess set. Now this piece right here is an original storyboard that's penciled and inked, and you know, it's a used storyboard. You could see kind of coffee stains and pin marks, which is really cool. Up there's the EFX Collectibles Death Star tiles and my Colin Countwell tribute there with the T16 plans and his autograph. Now, I have a bunch of cool little things like the Princess Leia necklace, screen used pieces there, like the Death Star tiles, little Andor end cap for one of the stars, and then my Peter Cushing kind of tribute. And below here, we have a little tribute to Rogue One with Diego Luna and Felicity Jones autograph on that. A little piece from Kenobi, and with the autograph, and a little piece from The Force Awakens. Now this section here, I wanted to set it up and to make it look like kind of like an oddities. So I wanted to put like all the like skulls and all the weird things that nobody would probably guess what they were in glass jars, just to kind of give it that, you know, oddities look. Let me know in the comments which ones you can spot, and see if you can guess some of those. That piece right there is new. It's a crew gift from episode 3. It's a little Chewbacca bust. Below there is the Sideshow Collectibles C-3PO bust. And right next to him is the Regal Robot Salacious Crumb puppet replica. And as you go down, you see the Grogu from Sideshow Collectibles, and a very amazing piece that my buddy Jason made for me, made from the castings from the Disney parks. Now up here is something very cool, the Vibro Axe that my buddy Ryan made for me, made of all original found parts. Right below it is the Regal Robot Gaffy stick from A New Hope. And this section's kind of a little tribute to Return of the Jedi. I have a little original piece of the sail barge, a little piece of the Sarlacc pit with Jeremy Bullock's autograph, a little piece of Ewok for the Emperor's cane by Master Replicas, a little Death Star tower by Jason Eaton, and a little Rancor remote that my buddy Ryan made, casted from original parts, and I painted. Now here we see a few creatures, and my favorites here are the Rancor, the full-size puppet replica, and the maquette by Regal Robot. Now here's all the Regal Robot maquettes. These are so cool. I just love that Regal Robot's been making these maquettes. You got Max Rebo, you got Weequay, you got Droopy McCool right next to him. Down below you have Reese, Jabba, and Yak Face. And what's really cool is that they all come with autograph plaques by some of the sculptors or the artists that worked on them. There's Nimnium and little Grogu. Now here is the Sideshow Collectibles Greedo bust, and I just love that thing. Regal Robot Tauntaun maquette, autographed by Phil Tippett. And again, let's go up to my favorites here, the Rancors. And the newest piece is the new Rancor maquette, and this is the Legacy Edition, which the Legacy Edition comes with this cool plaque and photograph and an original hand-drawn picture made by Phil Tippett. Now this thing sold out pretty quick, so they're no longer available, but it is just one of the coolest pieces, and especially next to the full-size puppet. And I went a little quick, but next to it is the Regal Robot CZ3 Signature Edition and a custom K3PO. All right, now let's get on to the weapons. So first up is the Master Replicas Rebel Blaster, and underneath it is the Master Replicas Stormtrooper Blaster. Now these used to be kind of hidden in my collection, so now with this new display, they kind of get the respect they deserve. And underneath is the Boba Fett jetpack. Now this is a Return of the Jedi Special Edition jetpack, and this is a custom build, and it is just, I love this thing. Obviously, it's a centerpiece in my collection. And right next to it is the Prop Shop Kylo Ren lightsaber. This is probably one of the rarest pieces in my collection, but it's also one of those pieces that is hard to display, especially the way I have my setup, but it's very rare. Now, speaking of rare, this is another one. So this is the Master Replicas Princess Leia Blaster Signature Edition, which has Carrie Fisher's autograph there. And this is just such an iconic piece. And right below it is a piece from Andor. It's a gun that's on the tank from the very last scene that gets blown up. And of course, this is one of my favorite series, so I had to have that. Down below is a Jawa blaster, and this is all full metal and wooden, super cool. Now up here are some lightsabers. You got Yoda's lightsaber, and this is a Master Replicas. Then we have Obi-Wan's saber, also Master Replicas, but I have Alec Guinness's signature there. This is the EFX Collectibles Ahsoka Tano lightsaber Director's Edition with Dave Filoni's autograph, and then I got Ashley Eckstein's autograph on there as well. Here's Han Solo's blaster from Empire Strikes Back, also Master Replicas. And here are the 3 Luke sabers. So here's A New Hope. This is the Signature Edition with Mark Hamill's autograph on it. The Empire Strikes Back version. And then finally the Return of the Jedi version, which is the V2. And like I said, all these are Master Replicas. And underneath it is another Luke saber, which is the Mandalorian Luke saber from EFX Collectibles. On top of there is just a Graflex lightsaber. Below there is the EFX Collectibles Dark Ray or Dark Side Ray lightsaber. This is such a beautiful saber. Yeah, these are, I believe they might still be available. And down below is a Biker Scout blaster. Now up there you see Darth Sidious's lightsaber and Count Dooku's lightsaber, and that one's a signature edition with Christopher Lee's autograph. You got Luke's reveal lightsaber from EFX Collectibles. This is Han Solo's blaster from A New Hope, the limited edition version from Master Replicas. And down below are the 3 Vader sabers. This is the dual signature edition from A New Hope with James Earl Jones and David Prowse. This is the Empire Strikes Back Vader saber and the Return of the Jedi saber. Right below it is going to be the training remote, also Master Replicas. It's such a cool prop. I've seen some amazing ones out there displayed. This is a Greedo blaster with all found parts. And down below is the thermal detonator by Master Replicas. Now finally in the center is the Regal Robot Emperor's Throne. And right in the middle is actually the EFX Collectibles Bo-Katan helmet. And this is something that Lucasfilm and EFX Collectibles sent my way for me just to check it out. This is actually a pre-production helmet, and that is getting ready to be made and getting ready to be shipped to all the collectors that pre-ordered it. And it was just such an honor to be able to look at it and, just check it out before anyone else does. But here's the rest of the collection. Now let's go to my other little collection room. And right off the bat in front here is the new Hasbro Ghostbusters pack. And here's my other small collection room. Honestly, it's a walk-in closet. It's hardly a room, but it's kind of cool because this is where I keep a lot of my vintage toys and just a lot of stuff that, has a lot of sentimental value to me just from like growing up with some of this stuff. So right off the bat, I got my Ninja Turtles, my wrestling toys, a lot of art toys. I love collecting, these like kind of vinyl art toys from conventions. And down below, you have a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. You got the Karate Kid bandana, Willy Wonka chocolate bar with the golden ticket, a bunch of cards, my Dick Tracy watch, which was a holy grail for me to finally get that. Right below is some screen use pieces. This one is the skull from Django Unchained. This is the hero. And the pack of red apples from Pulp Fiction, and the skull over to the left is from Hunger Games. Have some Marvel stuff here. You have the gauntlet, got Loki's helmet. Up here, you got some other vintage toys, my He-Man toys, some Transformers, some of my Star Wars toys here that I, just loved growing up. Some G.I. Joes, some Rambo toys. Got the one and only R2 with the pop-up lightsaber, which I loved that when I was a kid. I got my indie section here with a lot of the Disney prop replicas, and of course the Regal Robot prop replicas. The Holy Grail chalice and the urn, and those are from Regal Robot. Super cool. And those things also sold out very quickly when they first came out. Now down here are some props from The Wizard of Oz, some replicas. Got the Galaxy from Men in Black. And I think the only thing obviously I'm missing is the diploma. Hopefully they come out with the diploma soon. And down below are some other just toys from, again, my childhood. We got El Santo and Blue Demon masks. Freddy Krueger glove, and that's all metallic. Got mask. We got the 2 turtle doves from Home Alone Part 2. Got some Ghostbuster stuff. The McDonald's little Transformers Happy Meal toys. Got the power glove, the laser tag gun, Gizmo there, a little replica of Gizmo. A lot of James Bond props. I love James Bond. I got Odd Job's hat, which just came in a couple days ago, and the golden gun, and the little shift knob from the DB5 that also just came in recently. There's a couple Back to the Future props, and this year was super cool because I ended up finally getting Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd's autograph, thanks to my buddy Joseph. And finally, I get to have a little piece of history there. Now down here is a 300 helmet, Messenger Z, the 300 sword, and then Biff Tannen's cane. And down below are some screen use stuff from Super 8 and the Hunger Games. Got a few little pieces from the Hunger Games. And off to the left, got some more gauntlets. Over here is just some toys from my childhood, all the Secret Wars toys. And these I picked up obviously as an adult because I got rid of all my toys when I was little. Got the Simpsons, the Wolverine toy, Dick Tracy toys, some of the Micro Machines, the Superpowers. Man, I used to love those Superpower toys. I got this Happy Meal display. I don't know if anybody remembers those. And then I also collect pins. Every time I go to a convention, I love collecting pins. I have a bunch of Star Wars ones, a bunch of random ones. Now, these are kind of the more meaningful ones. Some of these I got from my visit to Lucasfilm and Skywalker Ranch. And here are some cool pins that my buddy makes over at Left Coast Customs. And yeah, down below are some more gauntlets down here. And that big film is actually a full print of Elvis on tour. I used to work at a movie theater, and when they were closing it down, they let me keep it. Now, here's a production made piece from Back to the Future Part 3 and all of my Star Wars posters. And, you know, most of these are not in pristine condition, and I wanted them that way because to me they just feel more authentic when they're all wrinkled up. Down here are the prequel posters, and the episode 1 poster honestly is one of my favorite posters. It just reminds me of how excited I was when episode 1 was coming out. And then over here, obviously, some of the sequel posters. Got Rogue One, Solo, and then the Book of Boba Fett poster. Now I have the Ahsoka ones and all the other ones. I just don't have any room to place them. Now here's an Ewoks Adventure poster from France, and this thing is massive. And I don't think people realize how big it is. So I wanted to show you guys here, the size. Now here is another section, and this is actually in my daughter's room, which is a little bit of an overspill. Section. You got Baby Groot life-size replica, you got the Stitch life-size replica, and just a few little things that my daughter wants to have in her collection. All right, so now let's take a look at the rest of the house. So right here we have a bunch of limited edition Pixar prints and the Up painting. Now, my family's huge Disney fans and loves Pixar. And in fact, we got to tour the Pixar campus this year, which was another amazing experience. Now, in our living room here, we have a bunch of bookshelves. Up here, got some Yoda, the Yoda statue, and then that little Yoda statue maquette, which is actually exclusive to the Lucasfilm employee shop. And this year, we got to tour the Lucasfilm campus, which was such an amazing experience. And at the end, we got to shop in the Lucasfilm employee store, and that's where they had that. So I had to buy that for my collection. And as you can see here, there's just a bunch of little knickknacks and a bunch of Disney stuff. Like I said, we're big Disney fans. Here is a replica of the Cinderella slipper and just a few other just little replicas and Disneyland things. Like I said, we're huge fans. A little Harry Potter there. And we got the Kotobukiya Ronin figure there. And below there, we got that's actually a casting from the Nightmare Before Christmas version of the Haunted Mansion ride. Now, this piece right here it's a new piece. It actually belongs to my uncle, but he ordered it here. And it's a direct casting of the Partners statue. And they only made 100 of those. And that one's autographed by Bob Gurr. Right before that, you saw a piece of the Moments with Lincoln wallpaper. And this guitar right here is very special because this is actually a screen use piece from The Hateful Eight, and it has a cool story behind it because Kurt Russell actually in that movie broke an original, priceless Martin guitar from their museum, and this was the one that he was supposed to break. So this is the V2, and this is the one that you see in the rest of the film on the kitchen floor. Now, this is a very cool art piece, and it's a Star Wars tapestry, and it's just such a beautiful piece. Now, Back to the Future is one of my favorite, just trilogies besides Star Wars. And this is the Hot Toys collectible 6-scale toy and a couple of prop replicas. And yeah, I got some more coming up this year, so stay tuned. Now, this is a screen use piece as well. This is from the Hunger Games, and this is actually in President Snow's office. And yeah, that's the actual one that you see in his office. And here is the bookshelf that leads into my Star Wars room. As you can see there, we got some genie lamps from Aladdin, the cartoon one, and the real life one, and the I Dream of Jeannie lamp, which is actually a Jim Beam bottle, and that's what they used for the original props, and just a couple little knickknacks. And we got Bob Gurr's autograph there. And then, of course, my daughter's baby Yoda that she made as a tree topper. I just love this thing. Some original artwork from Super Emo Friends and a replica of the Haunted Mansion plaque. Now, I want to share with you guys something I'm going to be doing a video, but I'm waiting for it to be displayed properly in my collection. And this is something I would have never imagined I would own one of these. And I'm going to just show you a quick sneak peek, and I'm going to just let the video do the talking for me. But as you can see, this thing weighs 256 pounds. It's pure bronze, and it's a very iconic piece, as you can see there. So I can't wait to tell you guys more about this. And finally, I wanted to show you guys what it looks like outside of my Star Wars room, because not a lot of people get to see this. And this is the reason why I have to make my collection so clean and so just set up nicely, because obviously you could see it from the rest of our house. So there it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tour. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what your favorite thing was on the tour, and look out for some more videos this next year. Thanks, guys.